Oh, there he goes.
On August 23, 2007, a user going by the name Guy Terry uploaded a short video recorded inside his home. The footage opens in a quiet room when an indistinct sound is heard coming from the hallway outside the door.
Did you hear that?
Terry approaches cautiously, opens the door, and discovers a small girl with dark hair sitting motionless in the corner of the hallway. She appears to be facing the wall, her head lowered, unnervingly still. Terry retreats back into the room and closes the door. After a brief pause, he opens it again. This time, the girl is no longer in the corner. Instead, she is standing directly in front of the doorway, arms slightly outstretched, staring straight at him. Terrified, Terry slams the door shut, and the video abruptly ends. The identity of the girl remains unknown. Adding to the unease, Terry's YouTube channel links to a Twitter account that contains only a single post, reading, "Sad but happy." On December 26, 2019, at approximately 7 p.m. in Houston, Texas, an unusual incident was captured on a Ring doorbell camera. The footage shows a man opening his front door and casually stepping outside. He walks down the path as expected, then, moments later, something inexplicable occurs. The man appears to get beamed up into space, leading some to believe that he was abducted by aliens. The individual in the video was later identified as the homeowner, Larry Lewis. Skeptics were quick to dismiss the footage, suggesting it was digitally altered or the result of a camera glitch. One prevailing theory claims the recording froze briefly, during which Lewis walked out of frame, and a nearby insect flew by. However, critics of this explanation point out that the object exhibits an unusual glow and moves upward at an unnatural speed, tracing a smooth, arcing trajectory inconsistent with typical insect movement. The 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film is often regarded as the most famous Bigfoot footage ever recorded. However, another video, almost as well-known and divisive, was captured decades later in the forests of the Pacific Northwest. On August 20th, 1992, at approximately 9 a.m., a man named Paul Freeman was exploring a remote area of Oregon's Blue Mountains in a location known as Deduck Springs. While moving through the terrain, Freeman discovered a series of large footprints that he believed did not belong to any known animal. He began recording with a video camera, carefully filling several of the impressions with plaster to create casts for preservation. Following the trail, Freeman arrived at a nearby pond where additional footprints were visible along the shoreline, leading him to suspect that whatever made them had stopped to drink. As he continued filming, a sound echoed through the forest. Freeman turned his camera toward the noise and captured something unexpected.
Oh, there he goes. Jesus.
In the distance, partially obscured by trees, a large, dark, humanoid figure could be seen moving deliberately through the forest. The figure appeared covered in dark hair and walked with a distinctive, non-human gait. At one point, it quickly turned toward the camera, seemingly aware of Freeman's presence. It then paused, nearly vanishing into the surrounding trees, demonstrating how easily such a figure could remain hidden in dense woodland before slipping out of sight. As Freeman advanced, he later noticed what appeared to be a second, smaller figure farther away. Freeman later claimed that he heard prolonged screaming from the same direction, sounds he did not manage to record, which allegedly kept him pinned in place for nearly 2 hours. What lends weight to Freeman's account are the numerous footprint casts he collected over the years. Several displayed dermal ridges, pressure points, and indications of weight transfer, details that believers argue would be difficult for a casual hoaxer to fabricate. These findings attracted the attention of respected academics, including Dr. Jeff Meldrum and Dr. Grover Krantz, both of whom took Freeman's evidence seriously. Meldrum, a professor of anatomy and anthropology at Idaho State University, specialized in foot morphology and primate locomotion. Krantz, an American anthropologist and one of the few scientists willing to publicly research Bigfoot, authored more than 60 academic papers and 10 books on human evolution, and conducted fieldwork across Europe, China, and Java. Freeman himself was a former U.S. Forest Service ranger, hunter, and tracker. For over a decade, he actively searched for evidence of Bigfoot. In October 1988, his son photographed what appeared to be a large, unidentified figure in the woods. In April 1992, months before the Deduct Springs footage, Freeman recorded another creature standing roughly 69 feet away at the edge of a tree line. His 1992 video remains his most famous and most controversial. Much like the Patterson-Gimlin film, skeptics argue it depicts a person wearing a costume. Believers counter that the creature's posture, gait, and hunched proportions are inconsistent with a human in a suit. Decades later, the footage remains unresolved, suspended in the uneasy space between misidentification and something far more unsettling. For more episodes, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications.